More than 700 teaching alumni have been welcomed back to York St John University for a series of quite extraordinary ceremonies, which will see former pupils who learned teacher training finally receive an honorary degree. Those who once attended the university and Ripon College way back when will now be celebrated and given the recognition they've been waiting for.
Today we have our fifth ceremony. We're having 6 ceremonies this week, and we are awarding honorary degrees to our ex-students who were given the certificate of education between the 1940s and 1980s. We're welcoming our students now, ex-students, and they'll be robing in Quad South and then going to the chapel where we have a ceremony where there'll be a school choir performing. We have speeches from alumni, we have speeches from the Governor, the Vice-Chancellor, and then we have afternoon tea.
So why, after all this time, have York St John decided to hold the 3-day event ceremonies?
We really wanted to recognise the contribution they've made to education. You know, at that time you couldn't get a degree, so that was the training. They were trained to be teachers, but it wasn't a graduate profession, so to speak. But you know, many of these people have spent 40 years working in education, and that in itself deserves recognition. I know from my own personal circumstances that my mum trained as a teacher, went on to teach children, adults, abroad, in this country, but she was only given a certificate of education and always felt a little bit aggrieved that she didn't get a degree like other people in the family. So we really wanted to recognise the contribution that our ex-students have made. It's been an absolute delight. I really genuinely mean that. One of my colleagues sent me a text after the first day and said, I can honestly say that it's the best day of work I've ever had at York St John. We have had to tear ourselves away from speaking to our graduates.
Those who studied teacher training decades ago were awarded a certificate of education, but now they'll be able to hang their new degree in their homes with pride.
Come for my honorary degree ceremony, which I'm very excited about because I graduated 43 years ago with a certificate of education, and it's wonderful to finally get recognition of a degree. I didn't think this would occur, and when I got saw the notification on Facebook, which is where I found it, I was very excited, and my name was down on the first day.
So what does it mean to the ex-students to wear that cap and gown?
I'm really happy to have my daughter, who's come all the way from London, to be with me today. She's a teacher and has a day off, and my brother with me, to see me get my degree when I was with them for their degrees many years back now. Lots of fond memories. It was a lovely place, but I do remember the very first night when I was there in the Union Bar, the third years were playing Nutbush City Limits, and that's basically Ripon if you haven't got a car. It's really, really hard to get out and have a nightlife, but it was still fun, and we had a lot of fun times there. Many of the schools that I went to, well, not one of the tiniest school that I went into is now a restaurant. It was a one-teacher school, and I actually taught on a teaching practice from reception through to year 6, which was mind-blowing. I've done all sorts of things since. I've taught from reception job right through to teaching A-levels, so I think possibly that teaching practice set me up to be adaptable.
Children from primary schools across the city are also taking part in the ceremonies to honour those who've paved the way of teaching. And York St John University are hoping they'll be inspired by the day's events. Caroline Davies, That's TV.